Yo, what is up, you guys? Hope y'all have been partying like every day is your birthday, because we got some crazy stuff coming today. We got 10 crazy police car chases caught on camera, so we're gonna get right into it and see how insane these criminals are, you know? Let's see if they really bout it. But without further ado, y'all, we gonna get right to it. Make sure you like and subscribe if you guys are new. Grab your boo, and let's get right to it.
Nothing beats the thrill and excitement afforded by a good police
What kind of car is that?
Well, some of you might already be jaded to the concept because YouTube is...
He's running in a Subaru?
Stuff. I remember a day way back when my dad would literally call me out of my room to watch the latest car chase unfold on the news. Yes, it's definitely fun for the entire family. So let's now channel our inner Ron Burgundy and watch 10 of the craziest police car chases caught on camera. With all that said and done, let's begin, shall we?
We shall.
Number 10. Tased and confused. Police were called into a stabbing incident in Dayton, Ohio in what they hoped to be a routine arrest. Well, as routine as the situation called for. When the police arrived at the location, the suspect got into his truck and floored it. He didn't get far though, as he almost immediately crashed his truck.
Come on, man.
The suspect wasn't going to be arrested without a fight though. He somehow managed to jump into the driver's seat of a police cruiser, one of the many cruisers that responded to the scene. When the police officer saw this, he shot the suspect with a...
How you let that man get into his truck, drive away, then get into a police car and drive that?
Taser at point-blank range. Remarkably, the suspect was still able to recklessly drive away in reverse. What ensued was a crazy car chase on the suburban roads of Dayton, leaving a lot of damaged cars in its wake. Unfortunately, the crazed suspect crashed into a minivan containing 7 kids, 2 of which suddenly passed away. The horrific chase ended abruptly when the suspect crashed a stolen police car into a pole just outside the Dayton Metro Library. He was promptly arrested, and something tells me that he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail as he deserves. Number 9. Yet another stolen cop car. Criminals are getting bolder and bolder nowadays, and this guy is a primary example of this fact. This guy hijacked not 1, but 2 vehicles. One of them was, as mentioned in the title, a police cruiser. The suspect
I thought they meant that he stole 2 police cars. I was like, bruh, you're telling me you let the man steal 1 and then you let him steal another?
Involved in an armed robbery earlier in the day and was trying to get away in his white sedan. Unfortunately, he went off-road, which sedans aren't really made for, which basically disabled his car. But before his car died down, he hijacked at gunpoint a passing up pickup truck. He led the police on a merry off-road chase again until he crashed the truck. That's chase over, am I right? Well, wrong. The guy legged it, still trying to evade capture. He ran towards one of the parked cop cars that was previously chasing him and drove off with it. Police were basically unaware of this development. They were so unaware of it that many police cars just kinda drove by him. Good thing a news helicopter was monitoring the entire thing.
Yeah, hey, if those news helicopters weren't a thing, just know there'd be so many criminals that escaped. Those cops helped them out a lot.
Notified of the car. More off-road shenanigans ensued until the suspect was cornered by the cops, ending the chase. Number 8. Tires blown, but still flooring it. Just a word of advice, guys. If the cops ask you to stop your vehicle, just please stop your vehicle.
Yes,
they probably just want to either give...
Y'all, please. The dumbest thing you could ever do is run. Even if they're gonna give you a ticket, bro, it's better than getting... I'd rather get a ticket than life in jail for running. There's just...
a ticket or even just...
And you're not gonna be able to outrun them. There's very few chance that you're able to just run from a cop and they don't catch you. They'll either get your license plate or a cop, a helicopter or something. It's just stupid.
Let you off depending on what you did.
Just stupid.
Because if you don't, a minor traffic violation may balloon into something much worse. Kinda like this lady here, for instance. All the police did was to ask her to pull over. No crime was committed whatsoever. But for some reason, the lady decided to give the cops a good old merry chase. I do have to applaud the patience the cops showed for this lady, though. There were numerous chances for them to forcibly stop her vehicle, but the worst they did was force her through some road spikes. This then blew out all of her tires. You'd think that would be enough to stop this lady, but again, wrong. The high-speed chase turned into a low-speed one, obviously because her tires were out. She was still able to escape.
She running on her rims.
The chase only ended when she decided to drive into a shopping outlet where she was finally boxed in, but she still wasn't going to go down without a fight. The officers were forced to pin her down on the pavement before cuffing her. Number 7.
For a traffic violation. Like, it doesn't
Highway
make sense.
shootout.
Why go to jail for a traffic
This guy
violation?
definitely doesn't want to get caught. The man in the passenger seat was a suspect on a liquor store robbery that led to the shooting of the store owner, which happened a few days prior to this incident. Police follow-ups led to police tracking the suspect down, who chose escape rather than arrest, which resulted into this police car chase. The police then boxed the suspect and his driver in, but instead of coming peacefully, he pulled out a gun and fired at the police, forcing the police to fire back. One bystander was grazed by a stray bullet, but nothing serious. The same can't be said for the 2 occupants of the car. The driver, who was wounded at the shootout, came to her senses and exited the vehicle, surrendering herself to the police.
Yeah,
The shooter, on the other hand, wouldn't budge. After a tense 45-minute standoff, it took a flashbang grenade and a canine to finally get the suspect out of the car, strapped to a stretcher. Number 6.
Hey. Oh my gosh, I'd rather go with the cops, man. A canine biting my arm off and stuff? Hell no, no sir.
You can't
No, sir.
hide from the chopper. Emmanuel Toner stepped into the office of a gas station to get his receipt since he was only going to be gone for a few seconds, and he decided to keep his engine running. When he got out of the office, he saw his truck speeding away. He let the police know, of course, but he decided to use his private helicopter to help the police in the search. He then got into his
He used his private helicopter? What?
private chopper, quickly spotting his stolen truck from above and relaying the information to the police, who in turn used the information to quickly apprehend the carjacker. Number 5.
First off, was his private jet just nearby and he was like, oh, well, I'll just hop in my jet and follow him? Like, what? I need context to that one.
Carjacking ends in crash. A carjacking of a truck in Pasadena, California turned into a high-speed police car chase which happened in suburban streets. The chase often reached highway speeds, which obviously is a dangerous speed when traveling in residential roads. The entire chase lasted for 45 minutes, with the hijacked truck weaving in and out of traffic and having all 4 wheels off the ground in some points. It's amazing that the truck never hit any other vehicle on the road. That is until near the end when it crashed into another car, giving the police the opportunity to arrest the driver, who then gave himself up with no resistance. Number 4.
Stupid.
Cop does his job, gets sued. Here's a bit of injustice for you, but before we get to that part, let me tell you the story behind the car chase here. Police tried to intercept a car driven by Aaron Vilbro for speeding, but instead of pulling over, he opted to lead the cops into a wild car chase through the busy streets of Melbourne, Australia. He can be seen weaving in and out of traffic, narrowly missing other cars on the road, running lights, and generally driving so haphazardly that it's kind of amazing he didn't hit any cars along the way. Now, Vilbro had a couple of good reasons why he opted to do a runner. One is that he was just released from prison, and 2, he had drugs in the car.
It's usually what it is.
I say good reason, but, well, moving on. Vilbro was being pursued by Sergeant Pickering, and the footage you are seeing was taken from his dash cam, but another police officer was in pursuit as well. That was Constable Brett McCormick.
Yeah, that's usually why. If y'all see a car run 90% of the time just because they got drugs in their car. If they didn't do anything wrong, that's why.
Speed pursuit, he wisely waited on the street he knew Vilbro will be driving through, and when he saw Vilbro coming, he rammed his car into the side of Vilbro's car, thus preventing further property damage or even loss of life. But get this, McCormick was actually charged for reckless conduct. Apparently, Melbourne police had no policy regarding ramming cars into pursuit, and McCormick, rightfully so in my opinion, pleaded not guilty. Number 3.
So stupid.
A high-stakes game of chicken. This technically isn't a high-speed car chase, but I had to include it anyway, and you'll soon see the reason why. Wyoming Police Sergeant Rob Meredith and Chris DeBuller were called in to apprehend a suspected drunk driver driving his truck the wrong way on U.S. Highway 131. Instead of going on hot pursuit, which most cops would probably do, they opted to get ahead of the driver and block his passage. The cops positioned themselves in the middle of the highway, waiting for the suspect to arrive.
They gave him an
They
escort?
first saw headlights coming towards them at speeds in excess of 80 miles per hour. The cops fully expected the drunk driver to stop when he saw them parked there, but he did not. I'm not sure if the drunk driver did it on purpose or was asleep behind the wheel, but he did ram the cop cruiser head on. If it weren't for the quick thinking of Sergeant DeBuller, who angled the police car at the last second, both cops and the other driver could have been killed. The impact instead broke one of the front wheels of the truck, which ended the entire ordeal. The drunk driver was sentenced to 15 months to 5
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
years
whoa,
in
whoa, whoa,
prison.
whoa, 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 put the brakes on that, boys. Moving
Now
back.
it's time for the day's best bit. In the photo, you'll see a supercar, probably a Lamborghini by the looks of it, ramming a police vehicle. I did my research and I did find similar vehicles that were involved in high-speed police chases, but none of them ever ended in a crash. In fact, most supercar owners opt to pull over when needed rather than driving away.
Yeah, you wanna know why? Because they have a supercar. They not trying to go to jail because they got millions of bucks.
Notice I said most and not all, because there is one supercar owner, fully knowing the capabilities of his car, ran from the police and 2 helicopters. And also may or may not have gotten away with it.
How did he ram into a helicopter?
Number 2.
To the air.
The one that almost got away. Carjacker and career criminal Mohamed Ahmed Obushileba stole a Dodge Challenger Hellcat and led police on an extremely dangerous freeway car chase on the I-10. He was being pursued by cop cars, but given that he was driving a car with a 707 horsepower engine, he quickly left them behind in the dust. 2 helicopters were also in pursuit, a police chopper and a newscopter. But Abushileba was driving so fast, and take note that both choppers' top speed was 120 miles per hour, and he was still outrunning the choppers as well. The police chopper eventually had to bow out because it was running out of fuel, leaving the news chopper to continue with the pursuit. But he was still able to outrun it, leaving the news crew to rely on zooming in on the car just not to lose sight of him. But this also proved futile as the Charger was soon too
Damn! So you're telling me this man outran all the cops and 2 choppers?
far away for even the camera to follow its movements. He was only caught when he abandoned his car, which probably ran out of gas and was found on the side of the highway and ran into the woods. Officers searched for the driver amid the brush before he was spotted, casually and talking on his cell phone. A deputy tackled the man and he was taken into custody by helicopter. He put the wreck in recreational vehicle. When I first watched this video, I was amazed that nobody got killed during this carnage. When you see it for yourself, you're probably going to think the same.
Is a dog driving?
Julianne Rainbird of California decided to steal an RV one day and led police on a dangerous car chase in the suburbs of Southern California. She weaved in and out of traffic, and at one point she slammed into a palm tree, turning away the front side of the RV.
Oh my gosh! Yo, I think you're missing the side to your vehicle device.
Wasn't enough to stop her, and even hitting multiple cars along
is that
the
thing
path, causing
moving?
multiple injuries to bystanders wasn't enough to stop her rampage. The scene looks like it came out of Mad Max with debris strewn everywhere across 2 California neighborhoods. She also had 2 dogs with her, one of whom seemed to have enough of the high-speed chase and jumped out of the moving RV through the gaping hole at the front where the windshield used to be. The dog did suffer 2 broken legs, but thankfully recovered.
He broke both of his legs?
Chase ended when the RV hit the rear of a car reversing out of a driveway, rendering both vehicles useless. Rainbird then
Oh, I feel so bad for those dogs, man. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys are new to the crew. And we gonna have another one for y'all today. Y'all be easy and do.